Okay, let's dive right in. Think of what we're doing here as a practical engineering brief. It's for you if you're a highly sensitive person, but it's also for any people department out there. Our goal? It's simple. To stop treating sensitivity like a bug and start building an environment where it becomes a high-performance feature, a real strategic asset.
Does this hit close to home? You're too intense, too emotional, just too much of everything. It's such a common pain point for so many people, this feeling like you're just not calibrated right for the world. You've probably spent years trying to dial yourself down, thinking the flaw was in you.
But what if it's not a flaw? What if all that intensity is actually a feature? Like a piece of high-spec biological hardware that has a really important purpose. Turns out, evolutionary biology suggests that's exactly what's going on.
To really get this, we need to talk about the dandelion and orchid analogy. See, most people are dandelions. They're resilient, they can pretty much thrive anywhere. They're your warriors, your movers, your shakers. But here's the thing. A tribe of only dandelions is a tribe that walks right off a cliff because nobody noticed the path was crumbling.
And that's where the orchids come in. We're talking about roughly 20% of the population, so 1 in 5 people. These are the folks who are way more sensitive to their environment. And let's be clear, they're not weaker, they're just more responsive. And they make up a huge, significant part of any workforce.
This trait has a name: sensory processing sensitivity. And here's the best way to think about it. It's like your nervous system is processing reality in stunning 8K, while most everyone else is humming along in 720p. You are the vanguard of awareness. You're literally wired to pick up on the subtle stuff, that slight hesitation in a client's voice, the flicker of the fluorescent lights, that absolutely everyone else just misses.
So, if you've got this incredible, high-resolution brain, why do you feel so exhausted all the time, instead of feeling powerful? Well, that is the core problem we need to solve. An orchid can't grow on a concrete sidewalk, right? It just wilts. And right now, the modern workplace is basically a giant concrete sidewalk.
And here's why. It's something called the evolutionary mismatch. Your entire system was designed for the quiet of a forest, where a single snapped twig was a massive, high-stakes signal. But you're trying to operate in the modern world, a nonstop barrage of Slack notifications, open office chatter, and traffic noise.
This constant mismatch leads to a state of systemic overload. Your brain just doesn't have a filter for this kind of low-grade, non-stop assault. What that means is your engine is redlining all day, every day, just to idle. Is it any wonder you're burning out?
So, enough about the problem. Let's get to the fix. We're going to start with blueprint number 1, engineering your physical environment. This is all about managing the hardware, your body, by taking control of the sensory data it's being forced to process 24/7.
The key concept here is what we call a sensory diet. It's simple, really. Just like your body feels terrible when you live on junk food, your nervous system crashes when it's fed junk sensory input. So our strategy is twofold. We're going to ruthlessly cut out the depleting stuff, and then we're going to intentionally load up on the nourishing stuff. All right, let's get super practical. First up, noise-canceling headphones in a busy office. Let's reframe this right now. It's not antisocial, it's not rude, it's personal protective equipment for your nervous system. That's it. It's just necessary maintenance for a high-performance machine.
Next, you absolutely need to find a restorative niche. This is a term from environmental psychology, and it's basically a safe space you can retreat to when you feel that sensory fog starting to roll in. It could be your car, a quiet stairwell, an unused office. The rule is simple. Don't just push through it. Retreat for 5 minutes, let your system come back to idle, and you'll completely prevent that 4 p.m. crash.
Now for my favorite part, adding the nourishing inputs. For a highly sensitive person, things like beauty and comfort are not luxuries, they're functional medicine. We need to actively feed our senses good stuff. Think visual nutrition from natural light, or tactile nutrition from a soft sweater or even a weighted lap pad, or auditory nutrition like listening to brown noise. These things actively replenish the energy that the chaos steals.
So what do I mean by visual nutrition? Just look at the difference here. On the left, you've got this chaotic, bright retail display. It's visually depleting. On the right, you have a Fibonacci spiral, a pattern found all over in nature. Your brain is hardwired to love these patterns. They signal safety and coherence, and they literally calm your nervous system down.
And speaking of visual chaos, here's a game changer to combat digital assault. It's called the Gray Protocol. You just go into your phone's accessibility settings and you switch the screen to grayscale.
Why does this work? Because it completely breaks the dopamine reward loop that's tied to those bright, shiny notification badges. Your phone stops being a slot machine designed to hook you, and it just becomes a tool again. It's incredibly powerful. Okay, so once we get the physical environment under control, we can move on to Blueprint 2. This is the psychological software upgrade. It's all about engineering the boundaries you need to protect yourself from emotionally draining interactions.
This right here is one of the most critical distinctions an HSP can learn, the difference between empathy and compassion. See, empathy is feeling with someone. If they're drowning, you jump in and you drown right alongside them. But compassion is caring for them. You stay on the shore, safe, resourced, and you throw them a rope. For us, this shift isn't just nice, it's a core survival skill.
So how do you stay on that shore? You need a tool, a simple script. And this is it, the pause protocol. Because you feel other people's needs and disappointments so deeply, saying no can feel physically painful. So from now on, your new default answer to any request is this simple sentence. It's a shield. It buys you the time your 8K brain needs to process the request logically instead of just reacting emotionally.
All right, so we've diagnosed the issue, we've laid out the blueprints for fixing it. Now, let's talk about the payoff. This is the business case. This is the incredible return on investment you get when you actually build the right environment.
It all boils down to this key scientific idea, vantage sensitivity. What it means is that while orchids suffer more in bad environments, they don't just equal dandelions in good ones. Oh no, they soar past them. When you create the right conditions, sensitivity becomes a massive, massive advantage.
So for any managers or HR leaders watching, let's talk numbers. Take a look at this. The cost of a good pair of noise-canceling headphones or designating a quiet room is minimal. It's tiny. But the performance gain, the ROI you get in focus, creativity, and fewer mistakes is substantial. This isn't an expense. It's an investment in your most insightful, high-potential talent.
And this is what that investment gets you. On one side, you have standard performance ceilings. Fine. But on the other, you have the incredible complexity and creativity bloom that happens when an HSP is optimally resourced. You unlock a level of insight, depth, and breakthrough innovation that is simply impossible to reach under those standard, depleting conditions.
We've covered a lot of ground, I know. But this isn't about trying to do everything all at once. It's about taking one small step. It's about shifting from just playing defense and damage control to actively cultivating an environment for breakthroughs. Just pick one thing. Your first engineering step.
Look, the modern world was not built for the orchid. And that's okay. It just means you have to become the architect of your own little corner of it, your own greenhouse. Because when you do that, you don't just survive, you bloom. So I'll leave you with this question. What incredible breakthroughs are just waiting to be discovered right now inside the greenhouses you haven't built yet?